everything around me. Green, get the money, dollar bill, yo.
What's up, guys? Got another Crowfall video for you today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of Crowfall's biggest hurdles that they're going to have to face if they want to make this game fun for the long term. And that is losing still needs to be fun. People need to be incentivized to play hard despite overwhelming or impossible odds. Crowfall, unlike most MMOs, is a game that has real consequences. If you die, people can take your stuff, people can knock down your castle you spent a long time building, or you can go and knock down other people's castles. This feels great because it makes everything feel so much more real. When you're out there harvesting with your buddies and you've got a bunch of stuff, your heart starts to beat a little faster when you think you hear somebody, or if somebody tries to gank you out in the forest or whatever, your heart starts beating. Even when I'm the guy going to gank somebody, I get really excited. That feeling is awesome. It doesn't really happen in a game like WoW when the PvP is unconsequential. Like if I kill some guy in the world in WoW, it doesn't really matter. So it feels great. However, when you lose and there's no chance of you really winning, why keep playing? Why play out the rest of the campaign when the odds are just completely against you, or it's literally impossible for you to win? And we've seen this happen already in the current campaigns, where one faction will get ahead and the other faction will just not even bother trying to win, or just completely stop playing until the next campaign. So luckily Crowfall does have the campaign system where somebody doesn't just dominate the game entirely for long periods of time like happens in EVE Online. If somebody is dominating a campaign, that campaign will eventually end. Next campaign starts, everybody starts at ground zero again. But these campaigns are going to be fairly lengthy. Right now, they've only been 5 days. In the future, they'll be a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. They'll be fairly lengthy. And how do you keep the losing side playing? So the thing with Crowfall, and here's the thing with Crowfall. A lot of people don't think about this, but the majority of the player base are going to be losers, including me. I think I'm going to be part of this majority of player base that loses. So, factions present the most winners. Roughly a third of the population in these faction v faction games will win. That's the best it's gonna get, in my opinion. When the game turns into guild v guild, which I think is going to be the primary game mode of Crowfall, I think factions will exist, and I think guild v guild will exist, and that will probably be it. But when that starts, there might be 20 guilds, 20 serious guilds competing in that campaign. One guild might win, 2 guilds might win if they ally with each other, but the rest of the people will lose. So you're looking at 95% or whatever losing. So it's got to be fun. It's still got to be fun to lose. And with Crowfall, right now there's about 4 guilds. 4 like serious guilds where four guilds that really pack a punch. And these guilds field 40 people right now, 100 people. Let's just pretend that some guild can get 200 people on right now and go do some shit. That is nothing. I am very skeptical. Like the guilds that are playing this game right now are good. They've been playing for a while. Lots of really good players all around the board. But if these EVE guilds get in here, oh boy. These beta guilds will be wiped out, will be irrelevant compared to the legions of people that some of these monster massive guilds will bring. And with Crowfall, you can't outplay people with lesser numbers. A guild of highly skilled players, 400 players versus 500 players. And if the 400 are more skilled, they can win. But numbers still matter. Numbers absolutely still matter. And the biggest force is most likely going to win. Peak numbers matter too. So if one guild can get 300 people online at once, the other guild can only get 100 people online at once. You know who's going to win the keep fight. Also, man hours. So a smaller guild can outplay a bigger guild, but with the way the current scoring system is, man hours definitely matter. If you've got a guild that can put in, 1,000 hours a week or something, and the other guild can only put in 500 hours a week into the game, you know who's going to win that campaign. So you got to keep that in mind as well. So lots of losers. That's basically what I'm trying to say. There's going to be a lot of losers in Crowfall. So when it comes to these big guilds, the real question is, how do you incentivize people to face them? How do you incentivize the ragtag group of 40 to go against the group of 1,000? How do you make it worth their while to be the thorn in the side of a group that is most definitely going to win? Personally, I think Crowfall is a lot of fun when you are able to be that nimble ragtag group of people that is just that constant pestering thorn in the side of the bigger group. I think that's more fun. Even though you're probably going to lose, I think there needs to be some sort of incentive for that, because you got to remember, the people on the winning side also need somebody to play against. It's not fun to win if you have nobody you're playing against. And we've also seen that in the campaigns where I was on Order, and Order just decimated for like 2 or 3 campaigns in a row, and people just either re-rolled Order or just stopped playing, and it was not as fun as it was when it first started and we were, fighting hard. So you got to be able to incentivize people to face the overwhelming odds too. One solution, and I hate mentioning it because it's very hard to implement, and it's kind of just a here's my idea, you guys figure it out kind of thing, but individual contributions need to be rewarded in some way. The top performing people on the losing factions, guilds, whatever, need to be rewarded in some way. Now, that's easy to say, hard to implement. How do you reward the top performing crafters, the top performing harvesters? I almost feel like some sort of like voting system. I mean, that could be rigged, but I almost feel like something like that could help in that regard. I don't know. But I think that the individual contributions need to matter and almost need to be weighted more for the losing team. Going out and capturing towers, outposts, forts, keeps, whatever, is way harder if you're the losing side and have less people to work with, right? So I think that it needs to be weighted. The scoring needs to be weighted more heavily for the losing sides, maybe. And obviously, individual contributions, I think, would help give people some incentive to stick it to the big guys and try and pull out a Cinderella victory. Also, you could have mini victories. One suggestion I saw was winning a season. So right now, the campaigns are divided up into spring, summer, fall, winter. Instead of having the big overall campaign, let's say you just can't win it. Like, you're just not going to win the overall campaign. The score is just too lopsided. Maybe you can win winter. You can win the winter campaign. You can outscore them in that regard. Another thing, smaller, like weekly, daily objectives. Capture XYZ, spot on the map. Maybe something like that. Who knows how well that would work. But smaller objectives that are up for grabs, even if you can't win the big picture. Anyway, the main reason I made this video is to farm the idea out to you guys. The devs are thinking about it, but the more brains you have on the problem, the better solutions you might get. So let me know what you guys think. What are your ideas to keep people playing as the losing force and incentivize people to be the ragtag group that is facing overwhelming odds against the mega guild? So let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in Crowfall, be sure to sign up with the referral link in the description. If you sign up with that link, you'll get 5% off, as well as getting into the beta for free. So even if you're not interested, at least sign up with that link. Get your spot in line for the free beta. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?